This is Slam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Wojcicki and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Slam Hockey. I'm your host, Peter Wojcicki, and you can catch me on Twitter at Russian98. And I'm with
Paul Swinbeck. Hello, everybody, and hello, Peter. How's it going?
I'm all right. I'm a little sad because I've been doing a pretty good job in my workout routine. Of course, I haven't drank a beer in about almost a month now, and I've been working out a lot. But today's the first day in over 3 weeks I didn't finish at least walking 5 kilometers. And you know why? My gym is in renovations for the cardio area. I even probably tweeted it. They have a sign. The sign's been there for 2 weeks. Cardio area closed Thursday and Friday. I was at the gym yesterday. Sign was still there. I show up tonight after, of course, the Leafs game. Woo, the Leafs won. I go there, and of course, I only have so much time left because the gym closed at midnight. And I go there just to work, do some, weights and stuff. And of course, sign's gone. The cardio area is open. I could have gone earlier and done some cardio. Especially there's nobody in the cardio area because nobody expected it to be open. Bastards.
Yeah, that's a jerk move. It was a solid sign. It was a solid sign that they had put up. That was
solid sign. Yeah. There's 4 of them everywhere. I'm like, what? And I even talked to a guy a few days ago. Yeah, we're doing. So then I went up to the, obviously a part-time guy is probably closing the place. I said, oh, so how did the renovations go? And he's like, yeah, they're going to be on the 17th. Oh, great. So they'll be closed again for 2 more days in 2 weeks. Great, thanks. All right, well, whatever. I can have a day off from running. But let's go right into the show. And first, I was going to introduce the segment last week, and we had too much time on other things. But I would like to do thank yous, and I'm going to give a thank you to Daniel Sedin for giving away his winnings at the All-Star game to the Vancouver Canucks training staff. Props on him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's good. It's nice to see that he's like, I really don't need this money, and those guys probably help him out so much and the whole team out. Those training staff are up at the crack of dawn or before dawn, and they're out. They're the first ones in and last ones out, so good on them to give him a little present.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
New news after the Leafs game, of course. Oh, the Leafs are on a winning streak. They're back to mediocrity. And then, of course, they asked Babcock, what was the question? I don't even remember exactly, but everybody's talking about it on Twitter, Paul.
Yeah, is he going to get to another 1,000? Because he just hit his 1,000 mark tonight. Was his 1,000th game.
Okay, great. So he hit 1,000 games. I even think they said, oh, did you have money on the game or something? Because he's like, it's just like any other game. It's just, I don't care. And he's the coach. He's not like he's one of the guys on the team or whatever.
Yeah, and his response was, quote, I got this year and 7 more here, and then I'm going to stay 2 more because the team's going to be that good, end quote. His math is a little off. It's got to give it to him a little bit that he's terrible at math, so I guess you don't need to do math when you're a hockey coach, I suppose.
Yeah. And apparently he knows who the Leafs are going to be drafting for the next, 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, apparently. He's already got his teammate. He's going to have Austin Matthews, and he's going to have, who else? I can't think of anybody else. Austin Matthews.
Yeah, Austin Matthews and everybody else. They're going to win the lottery 100% this year. That was his plan. That's why he wasn't playing Riley on the power play for half the season. So it's because he wants them to lose, just making them work hard and, play slightly better structurally. But, that's the goal, to win the draft every year for the next 5 years maybe, and then have a stacked team.
Well, that doesn't mean you're going to be stacked. Look at Edmonton, so...
Yeah, well, when you can't build some good, solid players around, you're not going to win anything.
That's right.
So, good luck. Thank you, Coach. All right. Let's get into the other topic that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about this days ago. I even thought about this during the All-Star break. Going into the final third stretch, which teams do we think have the best shot to make the playoffs that are currently out? Yes, my picks are kind of awful. Looking at them right now, I picked the Habs and the Ducks. Obviously, with the Habs, there was rumors Price was going to be back soon, and I would think that boom, he's in it, and it's all about confidence, and they're confident with Price in net, and the team would slowly get back to where they were before Price getting injured. But my other pick was the Ducks, and they're probably doing really well tonight already. We're recording here Friday night, and I picked them even before, during the break, and these guys are just they're playoff material.
Yeah,
I
yeah, they're
still think 100% they're going to make the playoffs, and they're still probably going to do damage in the playoffs. I still think, even if they finish, in my opinion, even if as long as they maybe the Hawks could beat them in the first round, which would be a great first round matchup. But even if they face a pretty good team, I still think they could win a couple of rounds.
yeah, they might be in tough with Los Angeles. I think that Los Angeles plays them really tough, even though they're
Yeah.
winning 4-1 right now against Los Angeles. But
All right.
yeah, if they get in the eighth spot, that's going to be tough if Chicago's that number one seed. So
Yeah. It's clicking. Geslav has been, he can't put anything in the back of the net, but it's going to get there. I guess, yeah, he scored in the game tonight. Perron has been a great addition since that trade. So everything just seems to be clicking, and they already have good goaltending. So it's going to happen, and they're going to be solid. And I still think they're going to do pretty well in the playoffs.
yeah, their last
Uh,
10, they're 7-3, so they're definitely playing good hockey right now. So
yeah. As I think of an Eastern team, who did you pick, Paul?
Pittsburgh Penguins, I really do think they're going to move on ahead. I think
Mhm.
two Metro teams are going to fall down, and Pittsburgh and Philly are my two picks. I think Philly's going to turn their season around. They slowly are creeping back in.
Yep.
And yeah, Giroux, Simmons, they both played awesome tonight, both two goals. So I think they're going to have a good end to the season. So
Yep. And how well do you think either will do if they get into that like last few spots or something? They might be facing the Caps, but again, one of them could be facing Florida, and I still think Florida. I love Florida and everything, but they're very inexperienced, so they could be a team that drops out in the first round, eh?
well, I think one of the two out of Pittsburgh and Philly are going to
Yeah.
be a 2 or 3 in the Metropolitan.
Okay. Do you think they're going to go way up there?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
So I guess you. So you think maybe the Islanders or the Rangers, maybe the Islanders are going to follow it, eh? It's going to be tough, so we'll see. I think I was thinking my other team would have been one of the two. I wasn't sure which one. Probably Pittsburgh. I was thinking also after Montreal to still make playoffs, and I don't know how far they can climb, but even as a wild card spot, probably taking out a New Jersey team maybe,
Yeah,
and they do, and I still think either team. Philadelphia always has a better second half of the season, and they are just a good playoff type team, a good team to play in the playoffs physically, and they can still score. And then Pittsburgh has offense and flurry, so I think either team could, I think, be in the wild card spot and even match up well against certain teams like a Florida or even Tampa Bay.
yeah, yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Uh, this week or this episode, we are team icing the Vancouver Canucks. Um, you know what? Last year, they shocked me. I actually had them out last year, just looking inside last year, and they shocked me. They made the playoffs. Didn't do too much there, but they were still pretty good. I still think the same way this year. I still think they're just going to miss the playoffs. Last year, just somehow magically, with the new coach after Tortorella left, everything seemed to click. I think it was the whole thing of a new coach, and they all had a good vibe around them. So everything was clicking. Verbata was clicking with the Twins. Burrows had a pretty good year. Matthias had a pretty good year for them, and Benino. And then you know what? Everything's falling apart pretty much for them this year. Even Yannick Weber had a great season last year, breakout season, and everybody's not playing as well as they were last year. Benino got traded for Sutter, and Sutter's missed pretty much most of the season because of his injury. Yannick Weber has taken a step back, so it's been tough sledding for them this year.
Yeah, they've had a ton of injuries, and Henrik Sedin just came back tonight, Thursday night, so that's good to see, and that is definitely going to boost their offense. So as long as they can get goaltending, I think Ryan Miller is a pretty soft goalie. I don't think he's got much left in the tank, and if Jacob Markstrom can step in and take the full time role, that would be quite helpful for them. So,
Mm.
but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they're too far
Yeah.
out. They play in a terrible division, but I just
All
don't
right.
think they can jump up.
So the Canucks pretty much begin and end with the Sedins, and they've slowed down only slightly. They're not top five, top 10 anymore, but they're still solid top line players. Do you think, Paul, it's time for the Canucks to rebuild and start moving the Twins and maybe Hamhuis and maybe even Edler? What do you think?
I don't think they'll ever move the Sedins. I really
Hmm.
don't.
Yeah. So
Hammy,
maybe just yeah.
Hammies,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
he could go. Like he
Yeah.
could get something. Everybody's looking for defensemen that can move a puck. So I think Verbata might go at the deadline if they're out
Yeah.
of it, because he's a UFA at the end of the year.
Yeah. He'd be a perfect trade bait.
Yeah, and they do have young guys coming up. Like there's a lot of young talent
Yeah.
in the minors. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. I can't see them trading the Twins. Again, it would be a big, huge help for a rebuild, but they're going to probably finish their careers in Van City. I'm almost 99% sure. They've been there since the beginning. This isn't like the whole Matt Sundin situation, where, in my opinion, he played 4 years or more or whatever in Quebec, then became a Leaf, and the team was losing year after year after year. And he didn't want to leave. He wanted to go down with the boat, kind of thing. And then the rest of the veterans stayed with him, the old Muskoka Five, as per se they would say. But the thing that annoyed some Leaf fans even more was he ended up going to the Canucks anyways the next season, even though he said he wanted to go down with the boat and as a team. So that was kind of like, come on.
yeah, it'll
So
be interesting at the end of their UFAs at the end of 2018
yeah.
season, 2017-2018, and they'll be 38. So it'll be interesting if they do go looking for a cup. But it's gonna if they do move them, it's really hard because they're gonna move them together. They got no movement clauses, so
Yeah.
they're
Well, no, they're still going to get a good package. I know it won't be as great as a package if you're trading just one of them on their own, but you're still going to get a decent package of prospects and maybe and picks.
yeah. But it's so hard to move one star, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna have to move two $7 million guys. So
Yeah, it's a cap thing. The cap thing will be a struggle. So hopefully they can take on some cap for those guys and maybe even take up to the 50% depending on how well the Canucks are that year.
yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
worth it. I think they'll just ride
me
him
neither.
out and see what
Same here.
they want in 2018, and if they want a lot again, then be like, all right, have a good one. See you later.
Yeah, or I still think they'll probably re-sign him for the 2 more years kind of thing, and you know they'll
Yeah,
stay there for a bit. So
yeah,
we'll see.
ride him out.
Write them out.
Yeah.
They've been there from through thick and thin, and they're the face of the franchise, and they're great players, so
Oh
they
yeah,
deserve
yeah,
it.
definitely.
All right, let's move on to the prospects. Jake Virtanen, or as I like to call him, Jake Vert, beast of a power forward. But Paul, man, he was pretty invisible for the under 20 Canada team, eh?
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to. He's not used to being the top dog, and he
Yeah.
was expected to be. He came back from the NHL. He was in the NHL, and they loaned him back to the juniors. And I
Hmm.
think he was looked upon for big time veteran leadership, and he's still learning his craft. Like he's a power.
Exactly.
He's going to be a great power forward in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I'm thinking this pretty similar things because I like him, but I was going to ask you the question. You know what? Do you think he could be a top line forward in the NHL? What do you think?
In 2 to 3 years, yeah, I do think
Yeah,
he could. Yeah,
you know what? I don't see it. I think he like what he did in the juniors, but again, he's going to be a bit older and more mature. But I think he needs a true top passing center like a Joe Thornton of the next era to really feed off and work well together. Otherwise, he'll be a really good second line winger, in my opinion.
well, 2 to 3 years, you put him on the right wing with Sedin. See what he can do with it.
Yeah, well, Sedin's will be a bit older, but yeah, that might work and see how that works. I don't know. I still don't, in 2 to 3 years, I still don't know if he's going to be even that ready to be in that role. But you know what? Give him the chance and the opportunity and see what he does with it.
Yeah.
So, a guy that I kind of liked was Hunter Shinkaruk. He's a really, really hardworking winger who plays with a bit of a bigger size than he actually is. And you know what? In my opinion, in the future, I think he could fit in like a second or third line role who could still put in 20 goals or more.
Yeah, their first round guys in the past 3, 4 drafts are all going to be decent NHL guys. They didn't really miss on any of them.
Yeah.
Because he was 2013 first round, and Virtanen was
Yeah.
2014. And then they got like Brendan Gaunch, who's a huge kid, but he doesn't play a
You know
big
what? Yeah, I think
competitive
they
game.
expected a lot more out of Gauntz, and I don't see it. I think he'll develop into a pretty good, maybe third line checking center. Maybe.
Yeah. And
So,
then Brock Boser, the guy they picked up
yeah.
last year in 23rd pick, he's going to be a decent third line depth guy, I think. So yeah, they got a lot. I really like Cole Castles. He led his team to the Memorial Cup with Oshawa Generals last year, and
Yeah.
he's son of Andrew Castles. So
He is. So, was he born in Brampton?
um,
No, of course he's not. He's born in Hartford because that's where Andrew played. Damn it.
yeah, was it? Are you sure it was in Hartford? Because
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew Castles got around for a bit. He was Montreal, Hartford, Calgary, Vancouver, Columbus, Washington. He was all over the place. So
Yeah, he was, but he was born in Hartford.
oh, nice. But
Yeah.
like Andrew Castles, if he's got a career like his dad had, he over 1,000 games played, 730
Yep.
points.
Yep. I remember being a little kid, and everybody talked about Andrew Castles back in the day.
He was
Being
such a
growing
like
up.
a utility player. Just
Yeah.
could move up and down the lineup wherever you wanted
Yep.
to fit him in. He could fit in.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyone else out there for the Canucks, Paul? You think they'll do well for them in the future?
Ben Hutton has been playing this year. He's
Already.
played 43
Yes.
games, and he's
He hasn't
looked.
looked out of place.
No, he looks like an NHL defenseman. So
Yeah. So that's pretty good for a rookie season.
yeah, and then they have Jordan Subban, PK's little
Yes.
brother, youngest
Yes.
brother, PK.
Yeah.
So he could become an NHL defenseman. He's definitely not going to be the PK Subban
Yeah. Material. No,
material, but
he's not flashy.
yeah. And they have another goalie in their prospects, Thatcher Demko. He's playing in the Beanpot tournament. That's actually airing on TSN 1 at 7:30 on Monday.
All
Little
right.
plug for TSN. There you go. Yay, TSN. No, but the Beanpot tournament is going to be
Yeah.
the championship game is going to be awesome. It's going to be
No, those are
Boston.
usually pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Boston College is playing Boston University, so that's a big rivalry. So it'll be really good. And Thatcher Demko's their is Boston College's goaltender. So, and he's had a really good season. So look out for him. Watch that game on TSN 1, 7:30 Monday. It's going to be worth watching.
Yeah, check it out. So I don't know. I think their prospects are pretty good. In terms of the whole league, they're about in somewhere in the middle. But you know what? If they start a rebuild a little sooner, I think it could go a long way for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Saturday's picks. Oh, the first matchup is Capitals at New Jersey. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Devils
Yeah.
for the upset. Yeah, it's got to be an upset. Washington will definitely be a favorite. It's first of back-to-back for Washington, so they play on Sunday. So I think they'll. I'm not sure who they're playing on Sunday, but they're going to get maybe Holtby, but most likely
Yeah.
they'll get Grubauer. So
That's what I was thinking too. I wasn't sure who's going to be on that. It's a back-to-back, but I still think it's going to go to overtime, and Caps are going to win it in overtime. That's what my pick was.
nice. I really want to see if Schneider is how hurt he really is.
Mm-hmm.
He sat out tonight. Keith Kincaid played against
Yes.
the Maple Leafs tonight, so Schneider is dealing with an injury. They say it's just day to day, so
Yeah.
hopefully he's back, and that'll help me get my pick. So
And the other big game of the week, probably for NBC on the Saturday, is Rangers at Philly. I
Yeah.
have Philly in overtime, actually.
oh man, are we gonna go opposites all night.
We'll see.
I'm
But you know
going.
what? Philly's playing really well lately. Rangers are back to playing their game slowly but surely. They are, but Philly, yeah, like we said, they have a good chance of stealing one of those playoff spots now. I
Yeah,
have a good feeling they're probably going to win, but it'll be an overtime game. It's going to be a good game.
you and your overtime picks. I'm going with the
You know,
Rangers because
yeah.
Philly's first of the back-to-back on Saturday, Sunday, so they could see Anthony Stolarz play his I think his first NHL game. Yeah, I don't think he's played yet, so
Yeah, they called them up
yeah,
recently, so yeah,
yeah. So
it'd
you
be
might
pretty
be able
cool.
to see that kid play and get lit up by the Rangers.
Perfect. All right, he's already back. Connor McGoliath, as I like to call him. Connor McDavid is back. It's Hockey Day in Canada Hockey Day in Canada, folks, on Saturday, right? So there's an early game, Edmonton at Montreal.
I'm
I
going.
picked. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm going with the Oilers.
Yeah,
McDavid is just he makes that lineup so much better. Just have Hall and Draisaitl. They're even going again because McDavid's now being targeted by the top defense. So
yeah.
and Eberle's found his game again. So
Well, when he's playing with McDavid, what do you expect?
yeah, exactly. Everybody thought Yakupov was going to be that lucky guy because he
Yeah,
had such good chemistry at the beginning of the year, but Eberle's found it with him. So it's exciting to see.
yeah. There's a huge 7-2 win tonight. Wow.
Yeah, and Montreal's just in a downward spiral.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, and you talked about Carey Price, and if he comes back, they'll have more confidence and stuff. Did you see
Yep.
him skate today?
No, I didn't.
There's a clip of him skating either today or yesterday. It might have been
Yeah,
this morning, and he was skating gingerly. He was not comfortable at all.
that's not good.
He busted up the ice, and you could just see it. As soon as he stopped skating, he was wincing and just in pain, and he did not look comfortable at all. So I
Wow.
really think he's behind schedule. And when do you get to the point of just selling the
Shutting him down,
yeah,
maybe.
selling the season and shutting him down for the year and getting
Yeah,
healthy and have him back? Because if he comes back and he gets hurt again, that's not good.
that's so deflating too as a team. Even if he, it's fine from next season, but it's so deflating as a team. And then it's like, oh, just throw the season away and everything.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's not good.
what if he can't help? Like, what if they're just not able to score one or two goals? Like, I'm sure you can keep them into one goal games, but they don't have
Yeah.
any scoring right now. So
No.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Put Galchenyuk on the top two lines. I don't know what they're doing sometimes.
yeah,
It's odd.
Michelle Therrien does that sometimes. So
You know, it's tough. It's
yeah,
really tough. But
yeah.
what are you gonna do? All right. Islanders at Detroit. What did you have?
I'm going with the Red Wings.
Yeah. Are you?
They're just playing really good. As long as Howard's not in net, Jimmy Howard has just lost his game. I don't know if it's confidence or the team doesn't play well in front of him, but he has not played well. And Peter Mrazek has
Playing
got
decent.
that. Yeah, he's got that net locked in. So I'm going with the Red Wings over the Islanders because I don't think the Islanders are that great of a team. I think they had
You
a
don't.
no. I
You know
think
what?
they
I
had a
do.
pretty good run, and I don't
I
think.
still think the Islanders have it in them. I don't know how. I'm not sure if they're a good playoff team, but as a regular season team, I still feel that they're a pretty good team there. And I picked the Isles. I think the Isles can pull it out away
Wow.
in Detroit.
Did you pick the Oilers and with
Yeah,
me?
yeah. I
Okay.
picked the Oilers. I picked the
Okay.
Oilers to blow out.
I was, yeah.
It's gonna be at least a 3-goal win, in my opinion.
Yeah. McDavid's gonna get 3 points, 4 points.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get at least three.
All
He's
right.
on fire.
Yeah.
Paul. Sorry, I even wanted to mention it. Is McDavid the best skating player in the NHL? Do you think he's better than Sid the Kid?
At this direct point, yes. Sid
Mm-hmm.
just I don't know. I don't know if he's lost his step or he is older. Like we expect him to
Yes.
be
Yeah.
amazing all his career, but he's slowing down. He's getting older, and I think he's slowly climbing out of his prime. As
Yeah.
scary as that is, and he's got like 18 points in the last 11 games or something ridiculous, but I think he's lost a step. I really do. He just doesn't dominate anybody anymore. Remember when he used
That
to
is
skate
true.
around Ottawa, like back
When
and forth and back and
like
forth?
he skated so well that he almost looked like a power forward type role on some guys with his angles and edges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the goal that McDavid scored the other night against the Blue Jackets, Sid used to come across the blue line and do that.
same thing.
And I haven't seen him, like, he gets to the blue line and he doesn't know what to do. He stops up and looks for a pass. He
Hmm.
no longer can skate through guys. So I think McDavid's probably right up
Number
there.
one guy in the NHL in skating ability,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. All right, sorry. Let's get back to it. Buffalo at Boston. You know what? I'm going with the Sabres on this one.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah, I just they're finding a bit of a groove, and it's it's a what is it, a back to back kind of thing with Boston going on this week with them,
I don't think they're on a back to back.
or no, but I mean within the same week, I guess they just played Boston recently or whatever,
Yeah, I think they played
and
them tonight, didn't they?
okay tonight, yes, yeah. So I don't know. I think I just feel with that kind of thing going on, and I don't know. Buffalo's playing well. I think they're going to win this one.
Yeah, and it's in Boston, and Boston at home is 11-13-3, and Buffalo
Yeah,
on the road is 12-11-2. So
yeah.
those records
So,
favor the Sabres. So
yeah, yeah. I usually like to look at that too. Home and away records, always a good thing to check out.
yeah,
Talking about that, also talking about streaks, Leafs are in Ottawa. Leafs have won 2 games. What, Ottawa's lost like 3 games in a row now or something? So, who do you think's going to win this game, Paul?
I got the Leafs. I got the Leafs
Yeah?
to win. Yeah,
You think they're going to keep the streaks, both streaks alive?
yep.
And I've got Ottawa. I think they're a bit of a better home team, and I think the streaks are going to break. Or at least, as a Leaf fan who's hoping for Tank Nation, Leafs lose. Why are you winning all these games? All right, well, we got it. I'm going with Ottawa on that one. All right, Pens at Florida. Paul, you picking your team?
Nope, I'm going with Florida.
Yeah.
Main reason, Malkin's injured for their Friday Saturday games, so he's not making the trip to Florida. So
And Florida is really good at home. I didn't know about the Malkin thing, what was going to happen, but I don't know why. I just have a good feeling there's going to be a lot of goals in this game.
yeah,
Sid's playing a lot better. Team's playing better. Florida just has pretty good scoring depth now with these kids. So,
well, and Penguins just I think they've turned on the offense button and turned off the
yeah.
defense button. They just
So,
are going to have either 5-4 games, 6-4 games.
yeah.
Either way, they'll win or lose that by that many. Like it's
Yeah,
just
I'm expecting at least like a 4-4 game at one point, and it could and that's another game that could go into overtime. I feel.
well, and Pittsburgh's on second of back to back, and they're
Yeah,
playing in Tampa Bay the night before, so they got to travel to.
the Miami road trip.
Yeah, so
All right, so we both got Florida.
all right,
All right, Minnesota at St. Louis. I'm going with my two-way team that I like. Going with the Blues.
yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So what's going on with Minnesota, Paul?
They just I don't know they get in such weird slumps that they just can't get themselves out of, and they just play really bad hockey. They're usually known for playing good, solid, like not fancy, flashy hockey, just good down to little mistakes, but they're just I don't know.
They are really lost, floundering right now. What is their record in the last 10 games?
One
It's
eight
like
and one.
1-8-1.
Yeah, just not
Oh,
good.
that is nasty.
Yeah, especially when you got a Devin Dubnyk owner in like 3 or 4 leagues for fantasy. Just not
Yeah,
good.
your fantasy team is getting rocked.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. And you know what? A guy like Ryan Suter, he's not a huge point getter, and if he's your second guy, wow, it's not looking that good.
No.
Wow. All right. So we both got. Did you pick St. Louis as well then?
Yeah, both got the Blues.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. San Jose at Nashville. Who do you have?
I'm going with Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know. I think I'm just going on a hunch. San Jose's
Yeah.
playing really good hockey right now, but
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just think Nashville's gonna they gotta start turning it up. They gotta start doing something, and Pekka Rinne's gotta find his game. He's been off for quite some time, so
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing here. I'm thinking it's In terms of the teams, I'm thinking San Jose is going to slow down a little bit in the near future, and this is a game that Nashville could win. But I'm gonna go with the team that's on fire. I don't know how you can't. San Jose is actually a really, really, really good away team. They just play great on the road. And again, 7-1-2 in the last 10. It's I don't know. It's like how can you not pick San Jose kind of thing? You're expecting them. They gotta lose one someday soon, but they're just on fire so well these games that gotta go with San Jose.
See, you just got to go against the grain sometimes, Pete, because
Yeah,
I'm 12-18 record right now in our Saturday
yeah.
picks. You're 16-14, so I got to make these up. I gotta find the dark horses, the
Well,
underdogs.
that's usually what I do, but sometimes I get them right. All right, Chicago at Dallas. Who are you picking?
This is gonna be a great game. This might be the
Oh
game
yeah,
that I watch.
for sure.
Yeah,
Top two teams in the Central, heavyweights pretty much in the NHL. It's going to be a great game for sure.
yeah. Hopefully Dallas starts finding its game. They're 3-win streak, so I
Yeah.
think they're starting to find it. And I'm going with Dallas. The home record of 19-6-0. That's just crazy.
Yep. I've got Dallas as well. It's going to be a great game, no matter what, and it's going to be fun. So, both going with Dallas. All right. Who do we have next? Is it Calgary at Vancouver?
That's correct.
All right. I picked Vancouver. I just feel that they're at home and they got to find ways to win games, and this is going to be one of them. Calgary's also slumping too. They're both not playing well, but I just feel Vancouver's at home, so I'm going with the home team.
Yeah, and Calgary plays in Calgary the night before, so I'm going with Canucks as well.
Yeah, it seems like the right move.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, the last game is Winnipeg at Colorado. What'd you pick, Paul?
I'm going with the Avalanche.
Yeah,
Yeah, second of back-to-back for Winnipeg, and they're traveling from Carolina, so they got to go through customs. Or no, they're in Colorado, so they
yeah,
don't have to
they're
go
in
through
Colorado.
customs. Forget that. They still have to travel from Carolina, so
Hmm.
that's skipping 2 time zones and playing second of back-to-back. Yeah, I'm going with the Avalanche.
Yeah, same here. Colorado stepped it up. They're playing a fair bit better than they were earlier in the season. You know what? They're in a playoff spot now too, so they're fighting to keep that spot. You know what? Got to go with Colorado.
Yeah, do you think they're going to get up into the top 3 in Central? I think they can pull that off.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Think they can catch the Blues?
No.
No?
It's St. Louis is such a good regular season team. Can't see them catching them, and Dallas and Chicago are having great seasons. So, no, I can't see any of those three falling out, actually,
Yeah,
out of
that
that.
Central's pretty locked up.
Those three teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got those spots.
And basically, they own the 2 wild card spots as well. So
Yeah.
there's
So,
going to be 5 Central teams in the playoffs. That's crazy.
it'll be pretty crazy. That's true.
Yeah.
So that's our picks for this Saturday. Again, if you missed some teams, we're gonna post them all on Jablam Hockey's Facebook group. Check it out there. Obviously, we're getting closer to the trade deadline. We're gonna talk about it more as we get there. But the updates are for the Leafs, at least. I've been hearing them about the last few games. Reimer, teams have been calling about Reimer. Those are the rumors, and it's looking like it could be one of the teams like Nashville or even Calgary could be looking to pick one of them up. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think that they're, like we said, pretty much the whole year that they're just selling at trade deadline. So
Yeah.
anybody and everybody is probably available for the Maple Leafs.
Everybody but Morgan Riley should be available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you know what? I as a Leaf fan, I kind of like Reimer, and I think he's a good goalie for rebuild because he's a team guy, team first. Statistically, he is right now playing like one of the best goalies in the league. Usually, he's somewhere in the middle, and that's fine for a rebuild team. And I wouldn't mind the Leafs just lock him up for 2-3 years. So if they can get a good package for him, trade him. Otherwise, I rather them maybe trade Bernier for even a low pick. In my opinion, would be better. Well, the other guy's still available. at the deadline that teams are looking at would be maybe Roman Polak. Again, same thing, UFA coming up. He looks like he probably going back to maybe St. Louis. He's been there before, and it's always good to have defensive depth when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah. Lupul's got to go somewhere.
You think it's still a few more years on the contract, and he's injury prone. Hasn't been too bad this year, but he hasn't shown to be that great this year too. So
yeah, I think if he gets like 4 or 5 games hot where he scores maybe 4 goals in 5 games, I know that's unlikely, but if he gets hot at the right time, they'll sell him off to whoever bites at it. So he might go somewhere. He might.
It's tough with Lupul. 2 more years still on the contract. I think if the Leafs want to take even maybe some cap back, it's only 2 more years. Maybe. Otherwise, I don't know. It's too much of a cap hit for some teams, and they got to keep him on the team for 2 more years.
Yeah, and they can't
the way he's played this year. So.
And they can't just keep taking on cap because they're paying a lot of guys that aren't even playing on their team. So if they keep doing that, they have a lot of money to waste, but it's cap waste. It's not just payroll waste.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough to trade Lupul.
Yeah.
And the other guy who's playing really well, I've had a delight watching him, especially on the power play this year, is P.A. Parento. I can't see him not being traded unless the Leafs would want to lock him up for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So a team looking for scoring depth, he can be even on your second or third line, and he'll still put in a few goals for you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Great addition to any power play team.
Yeah, half point per game player. There's not many available like that.
So I can't see him not being traded unless the Leafs really want to lock him up for a couple of years. So we'll have more for you next week on that.
Well, wait, Peter, before you.
Oh, Paul's got something to say.
Remember my big tease last episode?
Yeah, you were going to say something.
I had some big news.
Yeah.
So I'm moving on up in my Dauber prospects world.
Oh, nice.
I was just a writer to cover the Buffalo prospects, and
nice.
I really enjoyed that. So they had an associate editor position open, so I applied, and I got the job.
Congratulations,
So I'm now an associate editor with Dauber Prospects. We got quite a good team. Hayden Zobolewski and Mark Allen are the 2 other associate editors, and we're now run by Peter Harling. Nice. You probably have no idea who any of those guys are, Peter, but...
I've heard of the first 2 guys, yes.
Yeah, so they've also been covering teams. I think Hayden covers Colorado Avalanche, so we'll be trying to get ramblings. We're trying to do what Dauber Hockey does with his ramblings, but not quite as often. Dauber, I know, does like daily ramblings, so I think we're going to do weekly ramblings for prospects. So
if you like prospect stuff, check all out there.
Yeah, I've got one up already that I covered a weekend of CHL and AHL hockey and gave some quick hits there. So go to dauberprospects.com and you'll find all kinds of articles and tons of coverage for prospects. I think there's like 1,500 profiles of prospects on there. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to get going on this.
Perfect. Good stuff, Paul.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Next week, we're going to talk about which team that has a playoff spot and that we think has the best chance to fall out. As well, we'll be team ISOing the New Jersey Devils. Check us out then.
Bye.